What does it take to change a nation's landscape? For John Mahama, the answer was written in concrete and steel. It was a vision etched into Accra's skyline, paved into new highways, and built into the foundations of modern hospitals and schools for generations of Ghanaians. From a world-class airport terminal welcoming thousands home daily to the interchange that finally tamed Accra's most notorious traffic, his infrastructure plan left a lasting mark. This wasn't just building for the sake of it. It was a strategy, the Better Ghana agenda, designed to improve the quality of life for every citizen with real, tangible projects. It was about linking cities to rural towns, powering the nation, and investing in the people who would drive its future. Now, with his return to office, that ambition hasn't just been remembered, it's been reignited. That same drive is back, backed by a new mandate and a sharp focus on finishing what was started while dreaming even bigger. So what's actually being completed? What's being built right now? And what's still on the drawing board? We're breaking down the monumental projects that defined his first term and diving into the new initiatives set to redefine Ghana's future once again. This is the complete story of a vision in motion. So what's the master plan behind this new wave of construction? It's called the Big Push, and it's one of the most ambitious infrastructure programs in Ghana's recent memory. When President John Mahama returned to office, he came with more than just promises. He came with a fully costed framework for a national overhaul. The Big Push is a $10 billion accelerated infrastructure plan, set to inject $2 billion a year for 5 years into key sectors. This isn't just a catchy slogan. It's a detailed strategy that promises to create jobs and, critically, prioritizes finishing the many government projects that were left uncompleted or abandoned across the country. The idea of continuity is central to the agenda, a recognition that taxpayer money shouldn't go to waste just because of a change in government. Where is all this money coming from? President Mahama has made it clear that Ghana's own natural wealth will substantially finance the Big Push. Revenues from the nation's oil and mineral resources are being set aside to fund this transformation. In a meeting with the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, the president assured them the funds would be used transparently, stating, "Oil and mineral income must be invested in the kind of infrastructure that secures our country's future." The Big Push is not just a vision. It is a framework to convert our natural wealth into real, lasting national assets. The scope is huge. The plan targets everything from turning major highways into dual carriageways to building bridges, expanding water systems, and completely overhauling the country's railway lines. It's not just about roads and bridges. There are also major investments planned for healthcare, education, and agriculture to boost productivity, especially in rural areas. The agricultural plan, for instance, aims to support large-scale irrigation, build new farmer service centers, and fund agribusinesses to improve food security and create lasting jobs. A key part of this strategy is revamping the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, a sovereign fund set up during Mahama's first term. The Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund already has a proven track record, with smart investments in assets like Kotoka International Airport's Terminal 3 and the Takoradi Harbour. Under the Big Push, the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund is being revitalized to take on even bigger, self-financing projects that can generate returns to fuel even more development. Essentially, the Big Push is the engine driving everything we're about to explore. It's a vision that connects Ghana's natural resources to a financial strategy, and then to on-the-ground construction. It's a promise to not only start new projects, but to finally finish the old ones, making sure every cedi works towards a stronger and more prosperous Ghana. To really get the scale of the current agenda, you have to look back at the foundational projects from John Mahama's first term. These aren't just past accomplishments. They're solid proof of a vision for a modern Ghana. They're the bedrock for the Big Push and show a track record of turning big ideas into reality. These are the landmarks that have already changed the nation. First, and probably the most visible to anyone flying into the country, is Kotoka International Airport, Terminal 3. Before this, Ghana's main gateway was struggling with growing passenger numbers. The place was often packed, and the facilities didn't exactly scream global hub. The vision was simple: build a world-class, state-of-the-art terminal that could compete with any major airport in the world. The result was a game-changer. Terminal 3 is a massive, ultra-modern facility that can handle over 1,250 passengers an hour, with 6 aerobridges, huge retail spaces, and modern baggage systems. Its construction, partly funded by the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, didn't just make travel smoother. It cemented Ghana's status as a major aviation hub in West Africa. It's a point of national pride and proof that complex, large-scale projects can be delivered. Next, let's go from the skies to the streets, to what is easily the most famous interchange in Ghana, the Kwame Nkrumah Interchange, better known as the Dubai of Ghana. If you ever got stuck in the old Kwame Nkrumah circle during rush hour, you know the daily nightmare of that gridlock. It was a chaotic mess of cars and people that wasted time and choked the economy. The problem was obvious. Accra's busiest intersection needed a radical fix. The vision wasn't just to build a flyover, but to completely re-engineer the traffic flow with a stunning, multi-layered interchange. When finished, it was an engineering marvel. It's a 3-tier interchange with multiple flyovers and ramps that have dramatically cut down on congestion and travel times. But beyond just being useful, the interchange transformed the look of Accra, becoming an icon. It's a powerful example of how to solve a chronic urban headache with a bold solution. From transport, we move to healthcare. The Greater Accra Regional Hospital at Ridge is a perfect example here. The old Ridge Hospital was a colonial-era building that was completely overwhelmed by Accra's growing population. It just didn't have the space or modern equipment a major regional hospital needed. The vision was to completely redevelop the site into a modern, 420-bed ultra-modern medical center. The new hospital's first phase brought a level of healthcare infrastructure rarely seen in the public sector. It has specialized departments, modern operating theaters, an ITU, and advanced diagnostic tools. The project gave hundreds of thousands of people in the Greater Accra region access to better healthcare and set a new standard for public hospitals in Ghana. Its impact is felt every single day in the lives it saves. Finally, let's look at the lifeblood of Ghana's economy, its ports. The Takoradi Port Expansion Project was a strategic move to boost trade and logistics, especially for the Western region. As Ghana's second port, Takoradi was vital for the growing oil and gas industry and traditional exports like cocoa and timber. But it was limited by its capacity to handle large ships and cargo. The expansion project involved dredging to deepen the port, building new breakwaters, and creating new terminals for bulk cargo like manganese and bauxite. This massively increased the port's capacity, allowing it to handle bigger ships and more cargo. This strategic investment, also backed by the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, has made Ghana more competitive globally and has been key to the Western region's economic growth. These 4 projects, Terminal 3, the Nkrumah Interchange, the Ridge Hospital, and the Takoradi Port Expansion, are more than just buildings and roads. They represent a legacy of ambition and getting things done. They are the completed masterpieces that set the standard for what people now expect from this renewed infrastructure drive. A core idea in President Mahama's current agenda is continuity, a promise to finish what was started, no matter who began the project. The philosophy is simple: public money should deliver results for the people, and abandoning projects halfway is a waste. This section is about 2 huge projects from his first term that were left incomplete and are now getting a renewed, powerful push to the finish line: the E-Block Community Day, Senior High Schools, and the Eastern Corridor Road. First, let's talk about the iconic E-Blocks. In 2014, the Mahama administration kicked off one of the most ambitious school building projects in Ghana's history. 200 community day senior high schools. Known as E-blocks, these were unique, four-story buildings designed to open up access to secondary education, especially in underserved and rural areas. The goal was to end the double-track system by creating more classroom space and bringing high school education right to the doorstep of thousands of kids. By the time the administration left office, work had started on 123 of these E-blocks, and many were fully finished and running. However, a lot of them were left incomplete, some just foundations and others nearly done. For years, some of these buildings stood as silent monuments to stalled progress. A nearly finished E-block in Ashanti, for example, was reportedly falling into disrepair after work stopped in 2016. Projects in communities like Fumso and Ejura in the Ashanti region were also stalled, denying students the very schools built for them. Under the new Big Push, there's an emergency drive to complete all abandoned E-blocks. The commitment isn't just to finish the buildings, but to make them fully operational, sometimes with upgrades. The policy now includes turning some day schools into boarding facilities to solve problems of distance and low enrollment, like in the Adobwura community. By finishing these schools, the government aims to finally get rid of the double-track system, bring back a stable academic calendar, and deliver on the original promise of quality education for all. Now, let's turn to a project that's literally about connecting the country: the Eastern Corridor Road. This is way more than just a road. It's a strategic artery meant to link the southern port cities with Ghana's northern regions. For decades, traveling this route was a nightmare of long, unpaved, dusty, and often impassable roads. This held back trade, farming, and national unity. The vision for the Eastern Corridor Road was to create a modern highway that would unlock the economic potential of the Volta, Oti, Northern, and Upper East regions. It would slash travel times and make it easier for farmers to get their produce to market. During Mahama's first term, real progress was made on parts of this massive road. But because it was so huge and complex, some sections were still unfinished when the government changed. Today, finishing the entire Eastern Corridor is a top priority. It's a flagship project in the National Road Plan. The goal isn't just to complete the missing links, but to upgrade the entire road to a high standard. The economic impact is expected to be massive. A fully completed Eastern Corridor will create a seamless transport route, sparking economic activity all along its path. It will connect farming communities to city markets, boost trade with neighbors like Burkina Faso, and truly unite the northern and southern halves of the country like never before. Both the E-blocks and the Eastern Corridor Road represent more than just construction. They are symbols of renewed promises. Finishing them sends a powerful message that the government is committed to seeing long-term, transformative projects through, ensuring that the initial investment delivers its full benefit to the people of Ghana. The Ashanti region, a powerhouse of commerce and culture, is now a major focus of President Mahama's renewed infrastructure plan. Under the Big Push, a huge coordinated investment is underway to fix long-standing problems in transport, trade, health, and sports. This isn't just a random collection of projects. It's a full strategy to cement Kumasi's status as Ghana's second city and uplift the entire region. The most ambitious project is the Swain Interchange. For years, the Swain roundabout has been a notorious traffic nightmare in Kumasi, strangling business and frustrating everyone. The vision is to replace this choke point with a modern four-tier interchange to let traffic flow freely. Work on Phase 1, the main interchange, has been slow, with reports in early 2025 putting it at only about 13% complete due to funding issues and challenges like moving major water pipelines. However, the government has reaffirmed its commitment to seeing it through. Meanwhile, Phase 2, which includes 3 overpasses and the widening of local roads, is making good progress and should bring some immediate relief once done. Despite the hurdles, the promise to complete this vital piece of Kumasi's future remains firm. Next up, the arteries of commerce, the markets. The Kajisha Market Redevelopment Project is a flagship initiative to modernize Kumasi's trading hub. Phase 1, started under Mahama's previous government, was a success, delivering over 8,400 modern stores. Now, all eyes are on Phase 2, a massive €248 million project to finish the transformation of the Kumasi Central Market. This phase was stalled for over a year due to financial issues, but there's new momentum. The government has assured that funding will be released. When finished, Phase 2 is expected to add another 6,500 commercial spaces, creating thousands of jobs. On top of that, other long-delayed market projects, like those at Krofrom and Mampong, are finally slated for completion. The healthcare sector in Ashanti is also getting a massive boost. A top priority is finishing the long-stalled maternity and children's block at the Komfo Anarchy Teaching Hospital, Keith. This project started decades ago and is a deeply emotional issue for the region. President Mahama has personally pledged to complete the facility, which will transform maternal and child healthcare. Alongside this, the government is committed to finishing and opening the Afari Military Hospital and the Suwa Regional Hospital, two other key health facilities that have faced major delays. This three-pronged approach will vastly improve healthcare across the region. Finally, the government is investing in the region's youth by rehabilitating the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. The goal is to upgrade the stadium to meet international standards, so it can host major tournaments and give local athletes a world-class venue. Together, these projects, the Swain Interchange, Kajisha Market, the Kath Maternity Block, and Baba Yara Stadium, represent a powerful transformation agenda. It's a clear sign that the Ashanti region is at the heart of the National Development Plan, with targeted investments designed to unlock its full potential. Beyond the big cities, President Mahama's vision is about creating strategic corridors that will redefine trade and transport for the whole country. These aren't just roads, they are game-changing projects designed to connect Ghana internally and link it more efficiently to its neighbors, unlocking economic potential that's been untapped for decades. At the center of this strategy is the Bonkra Inland Port. For years, an inland port in the Ashanti region was just an idea. The project, officially the Bonkra Integrated Logistics Terminal, aims to create a massive logistics hub deep inside the country. Its purpose is to ease the pressure on the coastal ports of Tema and Takoradi by letting businesses in the middle and northern parts of Ghana clear goods closer to home. It's also designed to be a vital transit point for trade with our landlocked neighbors, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, turning Ghana into a primary gateway for a huge part of West Africa. After years of stagnation, work is now moving steadily. As of early 2025, the first phase was reported to be 82% complete. However, this project is too important to leave to chance. Recognizing this, President Mahama recently ordered the Minister of Transport to conduct a full audit to guide the final push, ensuring it becomes the economic game-changer it was always meant to be. Backing up the Bonkra project are ambitious new road networks like the Greater Kumasi Bypass and the Accra-Kumasi Expressway. The plan here is strategic decongestion and rapid transit. The Greater Kumasi Bypass will create a ring road around the city, pulling heavy traffic away from the crowded center. The plan for the Accra-Kumasi Expressway is even bolder, aiming to create a modern highway that will dramatically cut travel time between Ghana's two biggest cities, with a target completion date of 2029. To make sure these projects happen on time, the government has announced that 14 billion Ghana cedis has been set aside in the 2025 budget for the big push on roads, promising contractors prompt payment to avoid the delays of the past. Finally, and perhaps most transformative of all, is the plan for a total railway revamp. For decades, Ghana's railway network has been in decline. The new vision aims to completely reconstruct and upgrade the Western and Eastern Corridor rail lines. The Western line is vital for hauling cargo like bauxite to Takoradi port, while the Eastern line is a key passenger and freight corridor. The plan goes further, proposing to extend these rail lines north, finally connecting the southern and northern parts of the country by rail. The vision also includes developing modern light rail systems for Accra, Kumasi, and Takoradi to tackle urban congestion. This railway master plan is a long-term, expensive effort, but its potential to transform the economy and modernize Ghana's transport system is immense. Together, the Bonkra Inland Port, the new expressways, and the railway revamp are a trio of strategic projects set to reshape Ghana's economic landscape for the next 50 years. If the projects so far are about rebuilding Ghana, this final one is about building Ghana anew. In one of his boldest announcements, John Mahama has initiated the process for constructing a brand new administrative capital city for Ghana. This isn't about abandoning Accra. It's about finding a long-term solution to the immense pressures on the current capital. So, why even consider a new capital? Accra is the vibrant, beating heart of Ghana, home to over 5 million people. But the city is choking on its own success. Unplanned growth has led to crippling traffic, a severe housing shortage, and overstretched services. The daily gridlock costs the nation dearly. President Mahama argues that it's time to think long-term and plan for a new city to ease this burden. The vision is to create a new city from scratch, a smart, green metropolis designed for the 21st century. A feasibility study is already underway. The proposed site is strategic, on the vast Accra Plains, spanning parts of the Greater Accra, Eastern, and Volta regions near the Volta Lake. This location offers room for planned growth and uses the lake for transport and water. The new city would be connected to Accra by a high-speed expressway and a modern railway, ensuring the old and new capitals work together. What would this city look like? The blueprint is ambitious. It's designed as a 24-hour economy hub, with large industrial parks for manufacturing, a dedicated financial services hub, and world-class tourist facilities. The entire city is planned around sustainability. It would be a green city, with renewable energy and smart city solutions built into its core. Relocating some government ministries and financial institutions would be the first step, freeing up space in Accra for its own renewal, while the new city drives future growth. This is, without a doubt, a generational project. It's expected to take about 2 decades and massive investment, likely through public-private partnerships. The reaction has been mixed. Many praise the bold vision, while others question the cost and complexity. However, the government sees it as an essential investment in Ghana's future. It's a vision of a nation not held back by its past, but one willing to build a new future on a foundation of careful planning and bold ambition. The scale of these projects, from completed landmarks to the vision for a new capital, is staggering. We've covered a lot of ground, and the conversation about Ghana's development involves every single one of us. Before we wrap up, if you found this deep dive insightful, now is the perfect time to show your support. Please hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. Your subscription helps us keep creating detailed content like this, bringing you the real stories behind Ghana's growth. As we finish this overview, a clear picture emerges. The story of John Mahama's infrastructure agenda is one of bold ambition and strategic continuity. It's a narrative written not just in speeches, but in assets that are reshaping the lives of millions. We started with a legacy foundation, completed masterpieces like Terminal 3 and then Nkrumah Interchange. They set a new standard for the nation and served as enduring proof of a vision delivered. Then, we looked at the renewed commitment to unfinished business. The push to complete the E-blocks and the Eastern Corridor Road sends a powerful message. National projects should outlive political cycles, and public money must deliver results. The focused transformation of the Ashanti region shows a strategic approach to uplifting an entire region by tackling its biggest challenges in traffic, trade, and healthcare. Looking to the horizon, the agenda gets even bolder. The strategic corridors, Accra Inland Port, new expressways, and a revamped railway network are designed to rewire Ghana's economic geography and position it as a dominant trade hub for generations. Finally, the ultimate vision of a new capital city captures the essence of this agenda. Thinking beyond today to build for tomorrow. It's a daring idea that to secure a prosperous future, you sometimes have to build it from the ground up. When you put it all together, the completed, the ongoing, and the visionary, you see a consistent philosophy that infrastructure is the foundation of opportunity and a better quality of life, all driven by the big push. Now we want to hear from you. What do you think of this massive infrastructure agenda? Which project do you believe will have the biggest impact on Ghana's future? Is it the completion of the E-blocks, the economic revolution promised by the Accra Inland Port, or the audacious plan for a new capital? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching.